You might have heard whispers, late-night rumors drifting across coin groups, TikTok videos, collectors' chats. Whispers claiming that some ordinary-looking little silver-colored coins, the kind we ignore every single day, may actually hide secrets worth more than gold. Some say a few of them have sold for thousands, tens of thousands, and according to the wildest rumors, even millions. But here's the twist. These aren't ancient coins or super rare treasures locked in museums. They're modern American dimes, small, simple, and easily overlooked. And today, we're diving into 4 of the most talked about, most misunderstood, and most rumored about Roosevelt dimes that people swear could change someone's life overnight. Are those million-dollar stories real, or just viral myths? Are these tiny coins actually worth shocking money, or are people being fooled by fantasy price tags? And most importantly, could you secretly have one of them without even realizing it? Stay right here till the end, don't blink, because in the next few minutes, we're peeling back every layer of mystery, every rumor, every secret, until the real truth finally comes out. Let's step into the shadows of the coin world, where ordinary dimes might not be ordinary at all. Let's move on our first coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, quiet, uncertain rumors drifting through late-night TikTok videos, collector groups, and mysterious YouTube shorts. Whispers claiming that a tiny, ordinary-looking coin, one you could easily walk past on the ground, might not be ordinary at all. Some claim these little silver pieces have sold for thousands. Others say a few rare ones even touched the million-dollar mark. The stories sound unbelievable, but they spread fast, and people start wondering, what if the coin in my pocket is one of them? Today, we're going to unfold the truth behind one such coin. Stay right here till the end, because the truth is far more interesting than the rumors. This particular coin belongs to a design that has been part of American history for decades. Its face carries the profile of a leader who played a major role in shaping the nation during some of its most challenging times, an image introduced in the 1940s and kept ever since. The portrait is bold and simple, representing stability, recovery, and hope. Turn it over and the reverse tells a powerful story. The central torch symbolizes liberty, the olive branch reflects peace, and the oak branch represents strength and dignity. Together, these elements remind people of a time when the country was rebuilding itself and stepping into a brighter future. This combination hasn't changed for generations, making the coin instantly recognizable even to people who don't collect coins. Now, let's come to the year we're talking about, 1997, minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions of these were produced, which is exactly why the rumors feel so unreal. People ask, how can something made in huge quantities suddenly become rare? Why would anyone claim it's worth thousands or millions? Before revealing whether those wild stories hold any truth, let's break down its actual value, piece by piece. A circulated 1997 P, the kind you find in pocket change, has a basic value of 10 cents. Not every circulated coin is special. However, collectors don't only look at age. They look at condition, strike, luster, and whether the coin has any unusual minting characteristics. If your coin has sharp details, meaning the hair, lettering, and date look crisp, and if the surface has original shine, no deep scratches, and no wear, then you enter the category collectors call uncirculated or mint state. Mint state grades range from MS60 to MS70, and each level affects value differently. MS60 to MS63. These show marks from the minting process but no wear. Such coins from 1997 P often sell between $3 to $8. MS64. Slightly better quality with fewer marks. These can go for $10 to $20. MS65. Bright luster, sharp details, minimal imperfections. Collectors may pay $25 to $40. MS66. Now we're entering premium condition territory. These coins can attract $50 to $90. MS67. Very scarce for this year. These can fetch $100 to $200, depending on auction demand. MS68. Extremely rare. Only a few are known. Prices can reach $300 to $800, sometimes even more if two collectors compete. Most people don't realize how difficult it is to find a modern coin in near-perfect condition. These coins usually travel through machines, bags, and circulation. Even before they leave the mint, they collide with each other and receive tiny dents or scratches. So a high-grade example becomes valuable, not because it's old, but because it's hard to find clean, flawless survivors. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where the rumors usually begin. 1997 P-dimes are known to have a few error types. Double die errors. Parts of the design appear doubled. Depending on clarity, these can sell for $25 to $250. Off-center strikes. If the design is shifted noticeably to one side, values range from $50 to over $200. Clipped planchets. A curved piece missing from the edge. These generally sell for $10 to $60. Broad strikes. No ridges on edge, flattened appearance. These sell for $20 to $70. Missing mint mark errors. Extremely rare, these can reach hundreds of dollars, but must be certified to be considered real. Collectors pay more when the error is dramatic and eye-catching. And now, the moment everyone waits for. What about the million-dollar stories? Some YouTube videos and TikTok creators claim that special experimental versions of the 1997 P-dime were accidentally released to the public. Others claim a double struck on wrong metal planchet sold for over $1 million. These dramatic claims get attention, but here's the truth. No grading company, no auction house, and no official record has ever documented a 1997 P. Roosevelt dime selling anywhere close to $1 million. Most viral claims come from misunderstandings. Someone sees a rare coin from a different year, or from a different mint, or a completely different era category, and assumes the same applies to all years, including 1997. So the reality is this. Your 1997 P-dime is not a secret million-dollar treasure. But that doesn't make it ordinary. It still holds real value if it has high-grade preservation, unusual shine, or a dramatic mint error. A regular example is 10 cents. A high-grade one can bring hundreds, and a major error could be worth even more. The whispers of million-dollar sales may not be true, but the hidden potential inside a tiny coin like this reminds collectors that sometimes the most ordinary-looking objects have the most fascinating stories. Let's move on our second coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, strange unverified whispers drifting across Facebook groups, collector forums, late-night reels, and TikTok videos. Whispers claiming that certain everyday coins from the late 1960s, small, silver-colored coins that millions of people once spent without thinking, might secretly be worth thousands or even millions. Some people swear they've seen unbelievable prices. Some say special experimental pieces were released by mistake. Others claim collectors are hiding the truth. Today, we're diving deep into one such coin. Stay with me till the end, because the truth behind this particular year is layered, surprising, and far more interesting than the rumors. The design of this coin comes from a period of enormous transition in American history. On the front, we see the familiar profile, an image introduced in 1946 to honor a leader who guided the nation through war, recovery, and major political changes. The design was meant to be modern, simple, and powerful. Even today, nearly 80 years later, it still gives that same feeling of stability and respect. Flip it over and the reverse design brings symbolism that collectors never get tired of: the torch for liberty, the olive branch for peace, and the oak branch for strength. Three symbols joined together to express resilience, unity, and hope. These designs were used continuously for decades, and in 1967 this same formula continued, but with one huge difference. 1967 was right in the middle of America's largest coin shortage. The government believed collectors were taking too many coins out of circulation, which contributed to scarcity. To stop that, the mint made a surprising decision. No mint marks were placed on any dimes, nickels, or quarters in 1967. That means every 1967 dime looks the same. No D for Denver, no P for Philadelphia, no S for San Francisco. This unusual choice is part of what makes the year mysterious and exciting for collectors. Now, let's turn toward the actual value, because this is where most of the confusion begins. A regular 1967 dime in circulated condition is usually worth 10 cents. Millions of them were made, and most were spent heavily, meaning they picked up scratches, dents, dullness, and wear. But collectors don't search for the average examples. They search for survivors in exceptional condition or those with unusual minting errors. Let's break down the realistic market value according to condition. Mint state grades, uncirculated. MS-60. These show no wear but may have dull luster and several contact marks. Value is usually $1 to $3. MS-63. Better eye appeal, fewer marks. Typically $5 to $10. MS64, sharper details and stronger shine. These can bring $12 to $20. MS65, now entering collector-grade territory. Strong luster and sharp lines. Worth $25 to $40. MS66, much rarer for 1967. These can reach $50 to $90. MS67, very difficult to find. Only a small portion survive at this level. Prices often fall between $150 to $300. MS68, extremely rare. High-grade examples have sold for over $500, and in some auctions, even $700 plus depending on demand. Remember, all 1967 dimes were made on clad copper-nickel planchets, not silver. So high value comes from condition, not metal content. Now, let's talk about the exciting part, errors. This is where some of the wild rumors begin, and where some coins from this year actually do have surprising value. Known errors for 1967 include off-center strikes, a coin where part of the design is missing because it wasn't placed properly in the press. Small off-centers, 5 to 10%, can be $20 to $40. Large off-centers, 40 to 60%, can be $80 to over $200 if the date is still visible. Double die errors, parts of the lettering or portrait appear doubled. Values range from $25 to $150 depending on clarity. Clipped planchets, coins with a curved or straight chunk missing. These typically sell for $15 to $60. Broad strikes / no ridges. If the collar wasn't tight, the coin spreads out and loses edge reading. Usually $15 to $50. Struck through debris. If a piece of cloth, wire, grease, or dust came between the coin and the die, the mark left behind can add $10 to $80 depending on visibility. A few collectors document dramatic multi-strikes, double-struck errors, and wrong planchet strikes from 1967. These extremely rare types can sometimes reach hundreds. Now, let's address the question people keep asking. What about the million-dollar rumors? You'll see videos claiming that a 1967 dime sold for $1.2 million, or that there are special silver 1967 dimes that escaped the mint. Some claim that a unique prototype version exists somewhere in private hands. But here's the honest truth, and it might surprise you. There is no verified sale, no grading company record, no official auction listing, and no documented piece of evidence showing a $1 million 1967 Roosevelt dime. There are no confirmed silver dimes from this year, no special mint mark strikes, and no experimental planchets proven to exist in public. So where do the rumors come from? Most originate from misinformation, people mixing up different years, different mint errors, or entirely different coins. Sometimes, creators exaggerate values for views. Sometimes, they misread auction numbers. It spreads fast, and soon people believe that any dime from the 1960s could be worth millions. But here's the real, factual value. A normal circulated 1967 dime, 10 cents. A clean mint state example, $5 to $40. A high-grade MS67 or MS68, $150 to over $700. A dramatic mint error, $50 to several $100s. So no, this coin isn't secretly worth millions. But yes, under the right conditions, it can be worth far more than people expect. And that's the beauty of it. A simple little coin from a year of unusual minting decisions, a year without mint marks, a year surrounded by shortage, confusion, and mystery, still carries surprising potential for those who understand what to look for. Let's move on our third coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, faint, late-night whispers spreading through TikTok, Facebook groups, and coin-collecting circles. Whispers saying that some common-looking coins from the 1980s, coins you could easily overlook in your change, might secretly be worth thousands or even millions. Some say a rare experimental piece was accidentally released. Some swear there's a hidden variety known only to advanced collectors. And every time a video claims a certain date might be a holy grail, the rumors get louder. Today's coin is one of those dates that people talk about. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll understand exactly where those million-dollar rumors come from and what the truth really is. The 1983 dime carries the same classic design that's been used since the mid-1940s. On the front, We see the portrait that replaced the earlier winged Liberty design, the portrait chosen to honor a leader whose influence shaped modern America. Clean lines, soft curves, and a modernistic style were used intentionally so the coin would look timeless. Even decades later, this portrait remains one of the most recognizable in the world. Flip it over and the reverse design brings that powerful trio of symbols. The torch representing liberty, the olive branch representing peace, the oak branch representing strength and independence. These three together form a message about resilience, unity, and hope, an identity that stayed unchanged for generations. But in 1983, something important was happening at the U.S. Mint. This was during a time when the Mint was dealing with massive production levels, budget constraints, metal shortages, and an enormous national demand for small denomination coins. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 500 million dimes that year, and high-speed production meant more stress on the dies, more wear, and more chances for dramatic errors, some of which can be valuable today. Before we talk about those spectacular errors and the famous rumors, let's break down the realistic value of a 1983 P dime. Most examples in circulation today are heavily worn, scratched, dull, flattened. They're still worth 10 cents as currency and usually only 10 to 25 cents to collectors in average condition. But the story changes when you step into the world of uncirculated, high-grade coins. Here is the detailed value breakdown based on condition. Mint state, uncirculated, values. MS-60, a coin with no wear but several marks. Worth $1 to $2. MS-62, slightly better surfaces, usually $2 to $4. MS-63, sharper shine, fewer marks, typically $5 to $8. MS-64, above average luster and cleaner fields. Worth $10 to $15. MS-65, a solid collector grade. Smooth luster, strong details. Value $18 to $30. MS-66, much tougher to find because the 1983 dies wore out fast. Prices usually $35 to $70. MS-67, scarce. Strikes from this year often lack sharpness, so a high-grade example can jump to $100 to $250 depending on quality. MS-68, these are extremely rare, and auction results have pushed them into the $400 to $800 range. Now, errors. This is where collectors get excited, and where the rumors start. Some of the most notable 1983 P. Roosevelt dime errors include off-center strikes. Minor off-centers, 5 to 10%, can bring $20 to $40. Large off-centers, 30 to 60%, with the date visible can bring $80 to $200. Double die obverse or reverse. Letters or parts of the portrait appear doubled. Values can range from $25 to $200 depending on strength and clarity. Clipped planchet errors. A curved or straight cut missing from the coin's edge. Usually $20 to $70. Broad strikes / no rim. Struck without the collar, causing the coin to expand. These typically sell for $15 to $60. Struck through debris. If a piece of cloth, wire, grease, or machinery part interfered, the mark can add $10 to $90. Wrong planchet errors, extremely rare. A dime accidentally struck on a foreign coin planchet or on a cent planchet. These can easily reach hundreds or even thousands, depending on weight and composition. And this is the exact reason why people start spreading the million-dollar rumors. Someone sees a strange dime error selling for thousands, mixes up the facts, and suddenly the story becomes a 1983 dime sold for $1 million. The rumors grow, get repeated, and then get exaggerated again. But here's the honest truth you've been waiting for. There is no verified million-dollar sale of a 1983 P. Roosevelt dime. No official auction. No grading company record. No documented prototype or silver version from this year. No secret mint experiment released into the public. The million-dollar story comes from misunderstandings, misquoted auctions, viral videos, and exaggerated claims. So what is the real, verifiable value? A normal circulated 1983 P dime, 10 to 25 cents. A mint state example, $5 to $70 depending on grade. A high MS-67 or MS-68, $100 to over $800. A dramatic error, $50 to several hundred, sometimes more for extraordinary mistakes. No, it's not $1 million coin. But yes, it can be surprisingly valuable, especially in high grade or with dramatic mint errors. And that's what makes this coin fascinating. A small everyday dime from a year of high-speed minting, worn-out machines, and constant pressure to produce millions of coins still carries secrets, variations, and opportunities that collectors chase even today. Let's move on our fourth coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, soft little rumors drifting across TikTok, Facebook Reels, late-night YouTube videos, and coin collector groups. Whispers saying that ordinary-looking coins from the 1990s, coins millions of people spent without thinking, might secretly be worth thousands, or even millions. Some claim that a rare prototype escaped the mint. Others insist that certain dates were struck on experimental metal. And every time these rumors spread, collectors and beginners rush to check their pockets. Today, we're exploring one of those dates people keep talking about. Stay with me till the end, because the truth behind this coin is far more surprising than the rumors. The design on this coin has been the same since 1946. On the front, it carries the familiar profile of a leader whose influence shaped much of modern American society, an individual remembered for courage, recovery, and stability. That portrait was intentionally created with clean lines, a soft forward gaze, and a simple modern style so it would remain timeless. Decades later, the design still feels modern and instantly recognizable. Turn the coin over, and the reverse tells an even deeper story. The torch in the center represents liberty. On the left, the olive branch symbolizes peace. On the right, the oak branch stands for strength and dignity. These three powerful elements combine to form a message of unity and national resilience. That reverse design remained unchanged for generations, and your 1994 dime carries that same symbolism. Now let's step into the world of 1994 itself. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of dimes that year, and because of high-speed production requirements, the dies wore down quickly. In years like 1994, the Mint operated under intense pressure to release coins fast, which created inconsistency in strike quality and, sometimes, unexpected minting errors. This is where collectors become especially interested, because inconsistencies create value. But before we talk about the rumors and the dramatic errors, let's break down the actual value of a 1994 dime in a realistic, detailed way. Most 1994 dimes in circulation today are worth their face value, 10 cents. These are the heavily used coins, scratched, worn, and lacking original shine. But collectors focus on condition far more than age. The value begins to rise when a coin has survived in exceptional condition, bright luster, crisp details, sharp lettering, and minimal marks. Here's the full breakdown by mint state grade. Mint state, uncirculated, values. MS60, no wear, but noticeable marks and average luster. Value $1 to $2. MS61, MS62, slightly better surfaces, typically $2 to $4. MS63, good eye appeal, moderate luster. Value $5 to $8. MS64, sharper shine and fewer marks. Worth $8 to $15. MS65, strong luster and crisp details. Worth $15 to $25. MS66, harder to find due to weak strikes in many batches. Usually $25 to $50. MS67, scarce. High-grade survivors can sell for $80 to $150. MS68, extremely rare. Only a small number exist in this condition, and prices can reach $300 to $700. These high-grade values surprise many people because they don't realize how rare it is for a modern coin to survive in nearly flawless condition. Dimes collide in bags, move through machines, and pick up marks long before they ever reach a cash register. Finding a perfect one becomes a challenge, and challenges increase value. Now, let's talk about the exciting part: errors, the reason rumors explode. Some of the most notable 1994 dime errors include off-center strikes. Small shifts, 5 to 10%, bring $15 to $40. Large shifts, 30 to 60%, with date visible can reach $60 to $200. Double die errors. If letters, numbers, or parts of the portrait appear doubled, Values range from $20 to $150, depending on visibility. Clipped planchets. A curved or straight missing section. Worth $10 to $60. Broad strikes / no rim. If the collar failed, the coin spreads outward. Usually $20 to $60. Struck through debris. If something like grease, cloth, or metal shaving interfered, the mark can be worth $10 to $70. Wrong planchet errors. Extremely rare. If a dime was struck on a foreign coin blank or on a cent blank, it can reach hundreds, sometimes more. And here is where the million-dollar whispers begin. When someone sees a dramatic wrong planchet dime sell for thousands, maybe from a different year, they begin spreading the idea that any dime could be worth a fortune. Someone else misreads an auction listing. Someone else exaggerates the story. Soon, TikTok videos claim that a 1994 dime sold for life-changing money. But you've waited long enough. Here's the honest truth, the truth that collectors, grading companies, and auction houses agree on. There has never been a confirmed million-dollar sale of a 1994 Roosevelt dime. No secret prototype. No special silver version. No misplaced experimental metal. No hidden variety released to the public. The stories are entertaining, but they're exaggerated. So what is the real value? A normal circulated 1994 dime, 10 to 25 cents. A mint state example, $5 to $50 depending on grade. A high MS-67 or MS-68, $80 to over $700. A dramatic mint error, $50 to several $100s. So no, this coin is not secretly worth millions. But yes, under the right conditions, it can be worth far more than what most people expect from a small, modern dime. And that is what makes this coin fascinating. A dime from a year many people overlook, struck in massive numbers, still carries hidden value through its condition, its errors, and its story. Once you know what to look for, even the most ordinary-looking coin becomes a tiny adventure, full of history and possibility.